Okay, book recommendations. Let's see. Hey, you read a lot, right? Can you recommend a book translated from another language? Battle Royale by, I want to say, shoot, what's the author's name? I believe the last name is pronounced Kami. Battle Royale is originally written in Japanese, but I don't want to mispronounce the author's name. But yeah, definitely Battle Royale. Also, The Elegance of the Hedgehog, and I believe her first name is Muriel, and it's Berry something, but that's originally in French. Again, it's been a while since I've heard the pronunciation of these authors' names, and I definitely do not want to mispronounce them. They're in my head, but for some reason, it's not, coming through. And I know once I finish this video, I'm going to remember. But yeah, those two are definitely good books. Very different from each other, but I enjoyed the stories, and I enjoyed the characters, and they're well written. Okay, let's see what the next book rec is. Can you recommend a book you read in one day? I don't read a whole lot of books in one day as much as I read, so it takes me a while. I would think that you probably could read The Cryptid Club in one day. It's a graphic novel, sort of a humorous one about cryptids, and it's quite short. So I feel you probably could read that one in one day. Long Way Down, I listened to the audio. It seems long, but it's written in verse, so I think you could read that one. And maybe Dolphin Girl or Phoebe and Her Unicorn series, depending on how fast you read, because those are like middle grade graphic novels. So, I'd say if you can read, 100 pages or so. Oh, Goosebumps, probably. By audio, they're like 2 hours, so, and they're no more than like 200 pages. So yeah, I would say that those kinds of books you probably could read in a day, and I recommend them all. Okay, what's next? Can you recommend a book with mental health themes? I would say Challenger Deep by Neal Shusterman, and maybe even Looking for Alaska by John Green. I would say, you could say probably has some themes of mental health and other things in it. I know there's probably more books that I have read that have it, but I just can't think of any off the top of my head right now. Oh, you know what? I would say the Hunger Games series. That deals with both physical and mental health issues and a lot of other things. Definitely depression and PTSD and other things are, either just right in there or used metaphorically and symbolically and other things. That's why it's one of my favorite series. It just covers so many important topics. But yeah, I would say those have some themes of mental health in them. What's next? Can you recommend a book with beautiful poetic writing? I think I might have done this question before, but The Lovely Bones, that has some beautiful writing in it. I also enjoyed the writing in Island of the Blue Dolphins. What else? There's probably quite a few, but I really enjoyed those two. I already did that one. Can you recommend a book with no romance in it? I guess that depends on what your definition of romance is. So I'm not big on romance, but there's been relationship subplots in a lot of books that I love, such as The Hunger Games, The Fault in Our Stars, Looking for Alaska, The Lunar Chronicles. So again, it really depends. But I would say possibly because of Winn-Dixie, The Tiger Rising, a lot by K.D. Camillo, I guess, because they're middle grade children's books. What else? Battle Royale. Lovely Bones. The Giver. Again, I guess it really depends on what your definition is. Do you mean like no relationships whatsoever, or do you mean like hardcore romance, like it's all about love and finding the right this or that, and stuff like that? So I guess it really depends, because I can't really think of any books that don't have any kind of relationship in them, especially ones that have people as characters. Animal Farm? That might be one. Yeah, I guess it really depends on the definition of romance in that case. But all the books I listed aren't really heavy in romance. They might have, like I said, subplots with relationships, but they're not like hardcore romance books. Can you recommend a book that was a little confusing but still good? Oh wow. I don't think I've finished a book that I found confusing or that was good. I already did that one. Can you recommend a book that some people really hate but you love? Looking for Alaska. I wasn't crazy about it when I first read it, but now I read it a second time and I really liked it a lot more. I would say John Green's books in general get a lot of hate, and I enjoy them. Can you recommend a coming of age book? Maybe Because of Winn-Dixie, or Looking for Alaska, or An Abundance of Catherines. Maybe those count. Did that one. Did that one. Come on, I need some more, people. Can you recommend a book that is gross or disturbing? No, I have a weak stomach. I do not read gross. Disturbing? It depends on your definition of disturbing. Battle Royale is disturbing. The Hunger Games are disturbing. Living Dead Girl. The Lovely Bones. Most of those books I enjoyed or even loved, but the concepts are quite disturbing. Can't think of any more, but the parents in My Best Friend's Exorcism were complete trash. Yeah, that one too. Liked the book, but yeah. So yeah. Oh, Ferris, which is kind of like a villain origin story in the Lunar Chronicles. That was kind of disturbing. I mean, yeah, it was. Okay, let's see. Bookish Q&A. What books have you reread the most? The Hunger Games. Hunger Games, The Giver. So far, those. What's a book a lot of people hated but you enjoyed? I answered this one and another one, but Looking for Alaska. What's a book that is usually very polarizing but you feel neutral about it? I have no idea. Maybe Twilight? I didn't hate it, but it's not the greatest thing either. How much do you remember about books you've read? It really depends on how much the story captured me. When I say books are my favorite, it's usually because the story brought me in enough for me to remember a lot about them. How do you feel about ambiguous or open endings? They're okay. They're not my absolute favorite. I guess it depends on the style of the book. Okay, just had that question. If you track your reading, how many books have you read so far this year? 38, and I do count children's books, audiobooks, ebooks, everything that you could read. That's a book. I count it. So far, 38. What is your relationship with rereading? What makes you decide to reread a book? Not until a few years ago did I actually start rereading books, like fully. Just me enjoying the story and watching reviews from other people and hearing about what they got out of it and going back and seeing what I missed and everything. So, yeah, that. Do you ever have reading slumps? If yes, what causes them? Not really. More bookish Q&A. What was the last book you finished and which you recommended? The last book I finished. What was the last book I finished? I think it was one of the Lumberjane books, which is like, I guess, a YA graphic novel series. I just finished book 2, and yes, I would recommend it. It's a fun read. You just found out one of your favorite books is getting a film adaptation. How do you react? I've heard that they are going to make an animated movie for the Lunar Chronicles, and other than, not screwing up a storyline, I'm pretty happy about that. I feel there's much more that they can do in animation. Yeah, it would have made a cool live action movie, but I feel they're going to be less limited with animation. So, if it's true, I'm happy. Did that one. They really need more questions. Do you write book reviews? Is it easier to review a book you loved or one you hated? Yes, I do. Review books. I'm starting up my blog again on Blogger, but I usually do YouTube reviews. My channel is A Latte Thoughts, and it really doesn't matter. I guess there's more to talk about with a book that I love, but I will review anything that I've read. Did that one. What's one controversial book-related opinion that you have? It shouldn't be controversial, but reading is reading. Ebooks count. Audiobooks count. It is okay to read graphic novels. It is okay to read middle grade graphic novels. There is a lot to learn from YA and middle grade. A lot of good life lessons and a lot of good characters to read about, just as much as there is in books written for adults. Okay. Do you have any signed books? What about special edition books? No, I don't. Special edition, I don't think I have any, and I definitely don't have any signed books. What's a lot of books a lot of people hated that you enjoyed? I've answered this one. Were are your parents readers? If yes, what kind of books? I mean, occasionally, but I'm definitely more of a reader than most people in my family. You know, some people read here and there, but I'm definitely the reader. Do you have any other forms of written media, i.e. magazines, comic books, fanfics? I read graphic novels and comics sometimes. Did that one. How much does your mood affect your enjoyment of a book? Never really thought about it too much. I guess my mood decides on what I read, so I guess it's effective from the beginning. What subgenres within your favorite genres do you gravitate towards? That's a good question. I don't know. I don't really have specifically a favorite genre. Yeah, I don't know. I guess maybe when it comes, it's not really a genre, but when it comes to graphic novels, I like ones that are kind of adventurous, odd, humorous. What adjectives attract you to a book? Heartwarming, funny, sad, terrifying. Maybe heartwarming, sad, heartbreaking. I like a lot of sad stuff. I do. Humorous, mysterious, adventurous. A lot of things. Let's see. Did that one. Is there a genre you wish you liked more? If yes, what genre? Not really. I like a little bit of everything. Some more than others. Some I like as just subplots. But no, I'm pretty okay with what I like. Have you ever read nonfiction or memoirs? If yes, what are some you really enjoyed? Not really. I want to read a lot more nonfiction, though. I've read some spiritual ones, such as books on Wicca and Comedicism and stuff like that. What are some films or TV shows that have done justice to the book? I have mixed feelings about The Hunger Games, because I feel they watered it down a lot, but I do like the acting and the score and like the cinematography. I thought that was really well done. Especially the Mockingjay films. I really like those. Ones that I really liked are usually shorter ones, like Matilda. What else? Yeah, Matilda was really well done. The Fault in Our Stars, because of Winn-Dixie, I really like those. I thought those were really well done. There's probably more too that I can't think of right now, but I really, really like those. Do you care about the style of a page, font size, spacing, color? Not really. I'm not really into ones that are like super small because it gets hard to read. Other than that, I don't have a big preference. Why do you read? Purely escapism, to learn about other cultures, to help you fall asleep? All of the above. I really like stories that pull me in and make me think, and other times I like ones that have humor in them. So yeah, it depends. Did that one already. Do you pay attention to tropes? If yes, what's your least favorite trope? I don't pay much attention to them because I think, some can be good depending on how they're written.